Hi, and welcome to the Sci-Fi and Sunshine podcast. Thank goodness you didn't give up, that you kept going. You had that beautiful connection of somebody that said, hey, I might have an agent who would be interested in this, even though those other ones, it wasn't for them. And that's the thing about being in that sphere of traditional publishing, as your book is, that there are people who are going to say, hey, this is a great book, it's just not something our company is publishing. Or this agent might say, this is not what I'm representing at the moment. I'm looking at a little more hard sci-fi, for example, than the fantasy elements you're including. And you do want the best agent for what you're doing in your niche. So how awesome that you found that through...
Well, it's fun. Craig, once again, Craig, in his inimitable Hemingway-esque style, said it very succinctly. He goes, don't worry, don't give up. It will eventually land on our desk.
That's right. And it did, and to beautiful result. And let's talk just a little bit about, I don't know how much you're able or wanting to share, but let's talk about that sequel. So I will tell you, I follow you on Twitter, and every once in a while I'll notice you will have people tagging your name that said, Lou, where is the next book? I'm dying for your next book. And so I want to say it was just yesterday was the first time I saw you respond with, well, guess what? The book is coming. Like here's an estimated release date. So tell us a little bit about the sequel. When is it coming out? What you can and are able to tell us now about it?
First of all, I've released the title. It's The Tinderbox: Underground Movement. And very, very much like, the first book, there's a lot of wordplay there. So read into that what you will.
Sure. Oh, yes. I have all sorts of thoughts having read your first book.
Well, and by the way, they all apply. And it's so funny because I just to circle back to the hexes and the trauma. Once again, the manoliths drive traumas, which are troop augmentation machines,
Yes.
and are handheld explosives.
Right. Yes.
So again,
you do.
All of that is.
You do such a great job of tying in acronyms, which to me, that's a very military thing. So, I mean, even the dogs are an acronym, and you learn what the tree actually means. And one of my favorite lines comes from Everson realizing what's happening with the tree. And so, I love the wordplay that you've done in the first book, so I can only imagine what's to come. So, The Tinderbox Underground Movement is the sequel title.
Yes, and I finished all the edits on it. Kayleen Williams is a wonderful, wonderful editor. And so that portion is finished. Yvonne will start on the illustrations soon. And we will.
I can't wait to see those.
We will look to see that sometime in spring of 24. Aethon Books will also be publishing it.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. So listeners, get your copy of The Tinderbox Soldier of Indira, because you're going to want to be ready for when the next book comes out in the spring. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that I see you post on Twitter. I'm going to share my own personal thing that I love that you share is about cats. So there's kind of a cliche, writers and their cats. Okay, so I know you have cats. Can you tell us a little bit about your fondness for cats and some of the things that you just enjoy about the feline nature, if you will?
Well, what's so funny is that we have 5 half Maine Coons. We're pretty sure that they're half Maine Coon and Russian Blue.
So they're big cats.
They're big cats. Once again on Twitter, many people can see me covered in cats on the couch. We're very much in love with them. The funny thing is, Yvonne and I were never cat people.
Oh, interesting.
We were dog people.
Oh,
and
okay.
we in one of the houses we were renting, we started feeding a feral stray mama cat. Well, we didn't know she was a mama cat.
You learned that.
Yeah. Oh,
the natural way.
And so one day I'm sitting there washing dishes, looking out the back window, and there's a gazebo out there, and all of a sudden, bling, 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 I see this little black fur ball come out, and I think, oh my God, it's a rat in the middle of the day. And then I look, and I go, oh no, it's a kitten.
Oh my goodness.
And so I literally am standing there wrestling with myself, thinking, okay, do I say something or do I not say something? Because and as I'm having this inner monologue, here comes the second one. Here comes the third one. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I know that there's no way I can keep this a secret. So I went, Yvonne, and she comes and she looks, and of course it's like, oh my God! And she immediately goes on the internet to find out how to foster a kitten and make domesticate it and get it fixed and all that stuff. And the plan was to adopt them out.
Sure. Oh yes.
We eventually discovered that there were 5 of them.
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing is, Yvonne's allergic to cats. And so there was no way we were ever going to keep them.
Oh.
And I don't know, the universe just fixed things, and she's not as allergic. But we're your foster fails, and we kept all 5. And I have to say that our life has been infinitely blessed because of it, because they're fantastic.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, that's so interesting that you started out as dog people. So my husband and I have a dog and a cat, and we say they're brothers from another mother because they are just hilarious together. So do you only have cats, or do you also have
No,
dogs?
we have a dog. We have a dog who is infinitely patient. He actually gets along really well with a couple of them. They play.
Oh.
There are others that the other you're like, whatever, big dog. It's an ugly cat. We're not going to deal with him. But he was very, very good. We had the dog first, and he was very good about accepting the cats into the household.
Oh, well, wonderful. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun to see some of the fun things people tag you on. I think because you're possibly becoming a little bit known as the cat guy, on Twitter, where people will tag you and you'll repost some of the funnier, interesting cat videos or cat pictures or just cute cat things. And as Hemingway fans, for example, I don't know if you've been down to Key West, where Hemingway's home is to this day covered in cats. Have you ever made it down there?
I love that place.
First
of all, I adore Key West. I've been a few times. And I've been to the Hemingway house and seen the 6-toed cats. And
oh, yes.
I adore that place. I actually spent, back in the early it was the late 80s. No, it was the early 90s. I'm getting old, Bria. I finished the screenplay to Dangerous Touch, one of the first films that I directed and wrote in Key West, and I felt like such a writer because I was in the same town Hemingway was.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
yes.
To have gone to that house, seen the cats, touched the desk, where we wrote Old Man in the Sea, just amazing. But now being a cat daddy and seeing that, Mark Twain and Hemingway and Neil Gaiman and, so many other authors were cat people. I mean, it's just, even Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
It's just wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. So we are in the studio here in Clearwater, Florida, so not too terribly far from Key West, and I've managed to make it down there a couple times and really enjoyed just seeing all those adorable cats and seeing where Hemingway wrote. Yes, there really is something almost magical about seeing the spot and his typewriter still there. And that actually brings me to a couple other questions that I had for you about technology. So thinking about science fiction and what we can tell in science fiction stories, and some of the ways that science fiction writers of the past have even given us warnings, if you will, for some of the technological advances that come maybe without the ethical questions being asked or even being acknowledged. So AI, of course, is a big topic in the writing world right now. Can you talk a little bit at all about your experience or your just some of any thoughts that you'd be willing to share about what's happening in the AI world, not only in the writing world, in the acting world, and what does AI, does it bring benefits? Does it bring dangers? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I 100% understand why we are striking and support that wholeheartedly. Because AI is a huge threat to the livelihoods of actors and writers. There are the people who would like to replace us with programs, and yet that is the very definition of formulaic. Whether you're writing, and AI never would have come up with the tinderbox.
No, it wouldn't have.
It's too quirky. It's too weird, you know?
Yes.
And you look at the performances that we love on the screen. They are inspirational. They come from this weird place of personality. And, look at our movie stars. They're not bland. They're not middle of the road. They're not, your De Niro's or your Walkens or your Streeps or
your Lou Diamond Phillips.
Well, thank you. They're unique and they're original, and you cannot program that. Responding to things in the moment.
And I 100% agree with that. There are some interesting discussions happening between, the people who talk about wanting to just plow ahead 180 miles per hour, and some that want to slow it down a little bit and see, like, well, what are the costs? What are the benefits? And one of the things that I've read a bunch of articles as a sci-fi writer myself, looking at what's happening currently, and the idea is, we're not at that place of Skynet, for example. What we currently have is not general artificial intelligence that's sentient. We have extremely advanced algorithms, and there is not a lot to be said about creativity with advanced algorithms. Kind of to your point that, for example, I imagine you have examples of being on a set and you're in the midst of your lines, and perhaps you or another actor starts ad-libbing. That's not something that would happen with an AI.
No.
Does that sound accurate to what you were trying to portray?
It's 100% 100% accurate. You have a fantastic script, first of all, that was written by a human, and that explores character and humanity and depth and these complex emotions. So an actor now takes that, and Ed Zwick had a wonderful phrase. Every person you hire, whether it's the actor, or the editor, the cinematographer, they are there to plus that script. They will take inspiration from that script and they will add to it. And so things happen in the moment between two actors. Even if you just stick to the lines that, are physical, or that the one actor does something which causes the other actor to do something else. And that is the human interaction that happens.
Yeah.
Now, you can go, okay, well, great, there's been great animation and all of that is plotted out, but you don't get that unless an Eddie Murphy is ad-libbing, at the mic.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't write all those jokes. You can't write all of those intonations that make Donkey special.
Right. And
So
I'm not even sure that I've seen AI jokes. I wonder if that's something that people have even tried yet. I know with the Chat GPT and those types of narrative generating, I'm not sure how could they even write a joke, except that it would be kind of a repetition of somebody else's. I mean, there's a lot of just regurgitation, and that's essentially what's happening with some of these technologies is they're scraping from what's already out there. They're not coming from a place of human consciousness. So yeah, sometimes people can come up with ideas. Now, they do say there's no new ideas, quote unquote, but
Exactly.
There are ways to tell stories that are infinite within, let's just say, those limits.
Aristotle said that there's only 5 stories.
Sure. Yep. And there's other.
And it's how you put them all together.
Right. Exactly. And to looking at your book, this is a story that people will want to read because you have given us a compelling story.
That's all for now. As you venture through this sci-fi world we all find ourselves living in, may you be the sunshine to the people around you today. Adios.